I gave him my best eat shit and die look, but he wasn't fazed. By the time I reached the back steps, I was ready to murder someone. There was a group of cops standing at the door, but I didn't care. I marched up and went straight for the entrance. "You can't go in there, miss." "Why not? I pay tuition so I can use this library."
"It's closed right now. Should be open again in an hour or so."
"I'll be busy in an hour." I gave him my best imitation of puppy eyes. "I just need to use the internet and check out some books. Please? I'll be good. One of you guys can come in with me."
"Sorry."
I took a deep breath, the cold air stinging my lungs, and turned back toward the parking lot. My angry breath caused plumes of fog as I stomped across the pavement. I went straight to my truck, cranked it up, and headed for the center. The stars had not aligned, and I wouldn't be doing what I had needed to, so I might as well throw myself into the other part of my work. I weaved through the campus traffic, careful to not run over any of the people that seemed to see vehicles on icy roads as anything but dangerous. Thankfully, the closer I got to the wildlife center, the fewer people were out to annoy me. My old truck slid into a parking spot, coughing noisily. Ready to move on to the favorite part of my day, I hurried inside and immediately felt better. Working with the birds brightened my mood. After checking through the cages to make sure there were no problems, I moved to weighing and measuring the birds. When I got to Dover, an owl who had been hit by a car, I cooed softly. She had lost an eye, so tended to be nervous when people approached her mew. "Hi, sweetheart. Time for some food?" I unlocked the cage door and stepped in slowly. I untied the string that held her to her perch and gave her a good look over. Once I had her in the office, I weighed her, careful to note the exact amount in our logs before getting her food. "Eat up. You know you want it." I lifted the mouse to her beak, but she turned away. "Oh, come on, Dover. It's yummy mouse guts. Your favorite." She ruffled her feathers and sighed. Dover was beautiful, but getting her to eat was always a frustrating process. I lifted the mouse to her beak again, making sure she could see the food out of her good eye. Delicately, as if she was doing me a favor, she took a small bite. "That's it," I hummed. "Eat up." Slowly, she lifted her claw and grasped the mouse. I sighed in relief. She needed to eat to keep her weight up. It was also how we administered her medicine. Dover was a smart bird, and I suspected she knew we were putting something in her food. Once she was done, I took a few measurements and took her back to her mew. I checked the cage quickly, and then cleaned up any mess she had made. I checked all our logbooks to make sure nothing had been missed, made a few notes about a heiress hawk with an injured wing, and closed up shop. I felt much better by the time I was ready to leave. The annoyances from earlier didn't seem like such a big deal, and I was looking forward to getting home. After double-checking the medicines and the food for the next day, I flipped the lights and headed out the door. I fished out my keys to lock the gate as I neared the entrance. No one else would be in until the morning.
"Samantha Rousseau."
I looked up at the man standing just outside the gate to my research center. Dark pants met with a black blazer and an equally boring tie. The only thing remarkable about him was the expensive pair of sunglasses sitting on his nose, and the little gizmo tucked into his ear, complete with a curly cord running down into his shirt collar. "Yeah?" I finished locking the bottom of the gate and stood up. He wasn't a very tall man, possibly my father's age, but he radiated power. Since I tend to have issues with authority, I immediately disliked the guy. He hadn't really given me a reason to not like him, but people that think they're better than you or know more than you make me itch.
"Are you Samantha Rousseau?"
he asked again. He didn't introduce himself or make an attempt to appear friendly. No offer to shake hands. "Who wants to know?" I slung my bag over my shoulder as I headed toward the old pickup I drive. Authority Dude followed close behind, making my hackles rise even farther.
"If you are Samantha, I need to speak with you privately."